It's November 1st, 2020, the year humanity did not see coming. Now, it comes down to this. I feel very, very strongly that there are ways to solve this inhumane civilization that we're subjecting humans to across the entire globe. Now, what we need to do is work extremely hard to fight the fear that's been instilled in us. The fear that's instilled in us every time we watch the news, read the paper, scroll our feeds. You need to get comfortable with debunking fear, and freedom is right there. Freedom for all of us. Because once one of us is free, once you are truly free, at least I have found the most important thing in my life is to spread the freedom that's in my heart. All right, here's a comment. My very good friend did a post that she was quite reticent and nervous about, even though she is a marvelous writer and an incredibly astute and intelligent businesswoman. She shared something about herself. And this was my response. Deb comments, I was forced, then became accustomed to a life of near complete silence. Then, as I've regained my health, my wild true nature, and learned to speak my truth after turning 50, I'm constantly told that I cannot say things, that I have to dumb down to succeed on social media, that I cannot use complex words, that I must niche down, which is not compatible with trying to share a valid theory of everything that arises from a few essential yet crucial pivots to understanding how the math of life leads to the life-centric thinking strategies that will allow us to create a humane global civilization this decade. But for this future to unfold, for our kids, for our one united species, I must speak the words no one is comfortable hearing. We are all living in abject fear. We've normalized the advice to be mindful of speaking our hearts, minds, and souls because there's far too many consequences. But in this silence, we live in a world working for almost none of us, apart from billionaires. We're all too hassled from the hustling to have time to see that we live in a human civilization that constrains human potential at all costs. Double entendre intentional. Life-centric thinking is the key to creating a world of truth speakers. I continue on because I needed to address the reticence my friend had for making a post. And it was about faith. This is Sunday, November 1st, 2020. And the fact that there is some reticence in posting about faith and speaking about our faith. This means in a nutshell that the entire experiment of religious freedom upon which we're taught the US of hypocrisy was created has failed. There's no separation of church and state here. One must be a Christian to have a shot at national office. There is a perception of separation of faith and commerce, which keeps individuals quiet, but allows corporations to build cults of followers, rabid in their allegiance. Most importantly, it's the lack of separation of state and corporation. Our government is bought and sold and has been for quite some time. This lack of separation of state and corporation is at the core of how the American way has cemented multinational corporate hegemony as the single greatest threat to a peaceful global human civilization. I see the end SARS protests via this framework. Yes, there's independence, democracy, freedom of religion in Nigeria. But there is no freedom from the capitalistic legacy of the delusion of white superiority, which is entrenched by the need to play by the rules of international finance and governance, which has continued to keep African nations from true self-determination. In the case of Nigeria, kept them under the thumb of an allowance from big oil gas, which is about to explode into extinction. The solution? Well, it's crypto complex, yet entirely easy. All right, that was a very complex, very nuanced, very much a key to thinking about the challenges we're all facing in this world right now. We're all the same, no matter where we are, no matter what our individual expressions of this dilemma is. We're living in abject fear. Society that's been created simply and truthfully just to allow corporations to do whatever they damn well please. If we want a humane world, we must change corporate charters. We must demand that they do not get to continue operating unless every single one of them revises their corporate charter to start with, first, do no harm to any molecule of life. From that point onwards, when whistleblowing is no longer something that could end somebody's life, but a part of corporate citizenship, when mothers in conference rooms allowing baby bottles to have bisphenol A plastic that has not been tested for the fact that it disrupts babies' endocrine systems. Those mothers in that conference room couldn't speak up, couldn't say we need more testing because the objective was to decrease the cost by 5 cents. And in doing so, this company harmed its consumers, its future. Babies lost crucial early development time to a plastic that disrupts their endocrine system. We cannot keep making decisions in a vacuum while harming life categorically. This is the evolution that the math of life, well-being philosophy, and evolutionary logic are here to untwist, to get your mind back to the fact that life matters, humanity matters, ecosystems matter, bees matter, plants matter. We cannot continue with a world built on principles of industrialization, principles of stuff, because it's gone out of control and we're harming absolutely every species on this planet. It's time to think straight, think in life-centric ways. Peace, love, and harmony.